everybody, and welcome to Weight Loss Wednesday. I'm Chef AJ, the creator of the Ultimate Weight Loss Program, and this is where I show you recipes that will help you achieve, maintain, and sustain healthy, permanent, and sustainable weight loss. So today I'm going to be doing a recipe from my book, The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss, which can be found on page 147. And I so apologize that there was an error in two recipes in the book, the Just Banana Muffins and the Oatmeal Raisin Cookies, which are very similar recipes. For some reason, they both say 8 ripe bananas. I've already done the episode of the muffins in a previous Weight Loss Wednesday, and it's 4. And how that mistake occurred, I don't know, because I checked my files and it said 4, so I apologize. When we do reprints, we will fix it, but you know now here that for the muffins, for the cookies, it's 4 bananas, 4 ripe bananas and large bananas. So just so you know what a ripe banana is, to me, it's one that it's at least this ripe, at least speckled, because the truth is when you're not using any kind of sweetener, artificial or regular sugar, and when you're not using dried fruit like dates, how sweet your cookie's gonna be is gonna be how ripe your banana is. So I would probably go a little bit further if you want them sweeter, but this will be pretty good. So you want them at least speckled. And so I've got 4 bananas in the bowl, which I already peeled. And you could just put them in the blender and puree them. That would be fine. I just don't have room on the counter because we're doing other recipes. So I find that a potato masher that I use when I make mashed potatoes, like I showed you in Minnie's Mash, episode 55 of Weight Loss Wednesday, works just as fine. So we're just mashing them. Oh, it smells so good. And mashed bananas are great because even if you weren't doing ultimate weight loss, anytime you're doing oil-free baking, oil-free eating, which is what I recommend for everyone, even if they don't need to lose weight, bananas are a great substitute in baking for oil. Bananas, applesauce won't be as sweet as banana, of course. Prune butter or prune puree, pumpkin won't be as sweet. So I'm just gonna mash these just like this. Very easy. And sometimes if I've got the blender already set up, I will just puree them. And I usually end up with about 3 cups of banana puree. So there we go, a mashed banana. And then I'm gonna add, the book says 3.5 cups of oats, but I like my cookies a little bit more toothsome, so I'm gonna add 4 cups of gluten-free. These are rolled oats. Remember, oats come from the oat groat, the whole oat groat. That's the best incarnation. The whole groat, which I recommend you try. It's very toothsome like rice. It can be used sweet or savory. It's delicious, easy to cook in the Instant Pot. Then we have the steel cut oat, and what most people eat are the rolled oat, which has been flattened and steamed. And really, it's really very flour-like because if you push it between your fingers, it just kind of crumbles. And that's why I think people like it so much. Now, in the book, I don't put any dried fruit because for people following the Ultimate Weight Loss Program, they say that dried fruit is often a trigger for them because it is so sweet. And it's also calorically dense. You know, fruit is only about 200 to 300 calories a pound, but dried fruit is almost 1,300 calories a pound, about 6 times as calorically dense. For the same amount of calories in a 1/4 cup of raisins, you could have 2 whole cups of grapes. So we're just gonna mix that up like this till it's all incorporated. I mean, you could eat this because rolled oats are practically cooked. But I'm going to add a cup of raisins because for me, I can have a little dried fruit. I like to use half and half, some golden and some regular, because I just do. I think it's pretty to have 2 different colors. And these actually remind me of a cookie my sister used to make me when I was young called gumdrop cookies because, I don't know, they're just so good. And you really can have them for breakfast. Now we're gonna cook them at the oven. We are preheating the oven right now to 350 degrees. But what I like to do is dehydrate them because then the shelf life is pretty much forever, at least 6 months. I showed you on a previous episode the pumpkin pie bites. What I like about dehydrating them is 1, they're super crunchy, they don't go bad, they're great for travel because they don't break, they're great to dunk into your tea. You can do the same thing with the banana cookies or the oatmeal cookies, but I'm going to show you how to bake them today. So what I'm going to add now is a tablespoon of cinnamon. And what I really want to encourage you guys is to be spice snobs. And by that I mean, don't buy your spices in the 99-cent store. Don't use spices that you've had on your shelf for 6 years. Especially if you're not having salt, you want your spices to be fresh, sometimes even grinding them or toasting them yourself, but you want good quality spices. I'm using this Supreme Saigon Cinnamon from Savory Spice. Savory is in Santa Rosa. There's also a Savory in the desert, but you can buy online. And what I like about savory, and of course what I like about any of the spice stores, is that you can actually taste them before you buy. And they have some amazing blends and amazing salt-free blends. But cinnamon never has salt. It's just this, I swear, tastes like it has sugar. They swear it doesn't. They say the secret is they pretty much grind it right after they get it. This is the best cinnamon I've ever had. I'm putting in a full tablespoon. I only use this for really special things like baked goods, because I just use a perfectly fine cinnamon, the organic Saigon from Costco, for my husband's daily oatmeal. But for the cookies, we want the best. And so you just mix it up really good until everything is fully incorporated. I like baking on a Silpat or a non-stick silicone baking sheet, because to me, if you use parchment paper, which is fine, it's a little bit wasteful because, you know, you got to throw it out afterwards. Whereas I've had the same Silpat, believe it or not, since one of my Silpats is from 1987. That's more than 30 years old. The Silpat, I believe, was the original with a French, but you can get knockoffs very cheap. I've even seen them at Walmart. So you could see that with 4 bananas and 4 cups of oats, this is the texture. If I had used 8 bananas as the recipe mistakenly called for, it would be very liquidy. And so what you would just do is add more oats. I love using these scoops because then each cookie is the same. And I just put it on my non-stick silicone baking sheet. And then I'll press them down at the end. I like to just get a wet hand to do that. And I don't know how many these make. I'm going to guess these make about 15. You want to space them out a little bit. And this is like a great breakfast. If you already have oatmeal and fruit for breakfast, but you don't have time to cook it, you can have a couple of these cookies. 2 has always been plenty for me. They are nice and sweet. They taste like real oatmeal raisin cookies. And they're so easy. And they have ingredients that most people either already have in their house or are readily available. I will get 15. If you find that the oats are not sticking, it's because there's too much oats to liquid, so you could always add a little more banana or even a little applesauce. And I'm going to wet my hand now, and then I'm going to press the cookie down. So really 12 is about right for a baking sheet. You can make it as pretty as you want, as perfect. I could probably sneak 3 more on here, we'll see. I love silicone for oil-free cooking and baking because nothing sticks. And yes, it does discolor as it ages, don't we all? But it doesn't, it's fine. It's safe, oven safe up to 450 degrees. So I'm just gonna stick with the 12. Why push it? And I really recommend, if you're somebody that likes baking, is to invest in a $10 oven thermometer just to make sure that your oven is calibrated. And so now I'm going to just stick this in my preheated oven. I don't know if you can get a shot of the oven right there. Maybe move the camera down a bit. And this is going to bake for 30 minutes. All right, so when they're done, we will show you what they look like. I'm gonna set my oven timer right now. Okay. All right, so it's been 30 minutes. My oven timer beeped. Let's see how, ooh, they look great. Look at them, yum, yum. So now what I wanna do is check the bottoms, because sometimes they're a little bit moist on the bottom. You feel it, and this would be fine. I mean, we could eat this, but I like my cookies. These will never get super crunchy because we're not cooking with oil. The only way to get them really crunchy is to dehydrate them. But I want to make sure they're thoroughly cooked, so I am going to flip them.
Make sure you scrape the bottom.
Yep, scrape in the bottom of the barrel. But you never want to flip them until they're ready to flip, or they'll fall apart. But you can see that this is not falling apart. They're just a little bit wet on the inside. But also, I made these pretty thick. This was the biggest of the 3 cookie scoops I had. So what I'm going to do is put it back in the oven for about another 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and show you the newer, improved version. Okay, so I put them in for about another 15 minutes, just because I feel like everything kind of almost burned. Oh, look how beautiful. These aren't really burned. These are just the raisins, and so look at this, guys. These are perfect. And I do apologize that I have the recipe written wrong in the book. So now you know. 4 large ripe bananas, 4 cups of oats. This is what you're seeing here today. Oh my God, these are so good when they are warm. They're good when they are not warm the next day. And if you don't have time to eat breakfast, take a few of these, because basically, what is it? It's oats and bananas and a little bit of cinnamon and raisins, optional. Never include any food that's a trigger for you. When in doubt, leave it out. And don't forget, if you sign up by February 1st to the live Ultimate Weight Loss Conference, you can save $300. So I hope you enjoy these oatmeal cookies. I'm Chef AJ, and I truly believe you can have both the health and the body you so richly deserve, and I make healthy taste delicious. Thanks for watching.